Hey guys, so in this video I am going to be teaching you how to curate your vibe. My qualifications are I have a Bachelor's of Science in Vibe Curation from PSU, Pinterest State University, and I am really passionate about this. I feel like it takes over my entire life and I think about it a lot and I put a lot of energy into vibe curating. So I just kind of wanted to walk you through what process I have for curating a vibe. So the first thing you're gonna do is pick your muse. So basically whatever inspires you. This can be literally anything. It could be food, it could be an animal, it can be just a nebulous, intangible concept. And I would kind of steer clear of picking a specific person just because it can kind of come off like you're jacking that person's style. Like, say for example, you love Marilyn Monroe. She's so iconic that if you try to be Marilyn Monroe, you're not gonna be you. You're gonna be that girl who tries to be Marilyn Monroe. You know what I mean? So if there's some person that you really look up to, I would only take one or two elements from them that you really like and then build off of that your own unique thing. You might be able to get away with picking a person if it's not a famous person, if it's someone you know, then you could probably get away with that a lot easier. But I would suggest picking not a person, something not human. Then you're going to take that object and cater it to all five senses. So I'm just gonna use coffee as an example, just the drink, the concept of coffee. If I wanted to cater to all five senses with coffee, I'm gonna pick colors that kind of resonate with that. So browns, tans, stuff like that. To me, coffee also screams business. You wake up, you have coffee in the morning, you go to work. So this could kind of also go into office siren territory, but with more of a brown and a beigey color palette rather than something black and gray. I would also associate coffee just with the finer things of life. It's not water, it's not as plain as water, but it's not as over the top and decadent as you get a frappuccino. It's classy. So there's these connotations that I have with the object of inspiration, and maybe my connotations of coffee are totally different from yours. That's okay, and honestly, the less it makes sense to others, the better, because that means it's gonna be totally unique to you. But yeah, so just think of the five senses. You have coffee, I have a silhouette of clothing, a style, a color palette that in my mind goes with coffee. I can also cater this to smell. With coffee, this is really obvious. Coffee has a really strong smell, and you can get a perfume that has notes of coffee in it or notes of things that you associate with coffee, like maybe caramel or vanilla, things that complement the smell of coffee as well. Obviously, you can drink coffee. If your, object of inspiration is already a food, then it's pretty easy to implement that into the sense of taste. Drink coffee if your object of inspiration is coffee. What songs would you associate with that? For me, I think of Sade. I think of something smooth sounding, something relaxing, probably middle to low tempo. For some of you, it might be the complete opposite because coffee is caffeinated, so you might think, oh, something really upbeat, something really energetic. So like I said, your connotations don't have to make sense to everyone or anyone except you. Even visual and physical textures, to me coffee is smooth, so I'd probably wear something silky, liquidy looking, not something super rough or super fluffy, something that looks sleek. So I have all of these connotations with just something as simple as a cup of coffee. So for whatever your object of inspiration is, take that and extrapolate it to all five senses in whatever way makes sense to you. Go create everything in your space and in your life to be coffee themed, or like I said, I'm just using that as an example, but make it the theme of your life. So after you've picked your object of inspiration and given it a scent, a visual, a texture, everything, the next thing I would do, and the next thing that I usually do, is I attach it to a time, a place, or an event. Or you could do a mood as well. Whatever mood you're in. So basically what I mean by that is For me, I'm a very seasonal person. So if I was doing coffee, that would be either fall or winter for me because it's, it's a warm, cozy drink. I always do things seasonally. I'll get back to that in a minute of like my conundrum with that sometimes, but basically, I kind of pick a new object of inspiration every season, and it kind of relates to the season. I feel like my spring and summer vibes are usually pretty similar from year to year, but with fall and winter, I kind of switch it up more. It just depends on like what I'm feeling that specific season and that year. And I've been doing this since 2021. Beforehand, I would just make playlists based off of like my mood, but then I started to do it based off of whatever season it was. So I have a fall, winter 21, and then I started, like in 2021, I had a fall, winter playlist, and then a spring, summer playlist, and then the year after that, I made it specifically a fall, and then specifically a winter, and specifically a spring, and specifically a summer, and the next year I made a new fall, and a new winter, and a new, like, I make a new one every year. It started with playlists, and then I kind of made it encapsulate, like, all 5 senses, like I said before. And you don't have to do this with the seasons. You can do this with, like I said, a location. Like, okay, every time I go to this place, this is like what I'm gonna wear, what I'm gonna listen to, what perfume I'm gonna put on. When I'm in my room, it's gonna be like this, and then when I go out into the world, it's gonna be like this. You can have like a school playlist. If you're going on a trip, definitely make a playlist for a trip, or if you have a usual vacation spot, like, oh, I always go to this place, I would say definitely make a sort of almost alter ego vibe for when you go to this place. And the reason I would say attach it to something very specific is because it allows you to travel into that place. Like, for example, if I'm ever feeling nostalgic, I have a playlist and I have perfume that I know I really only wore and listened to when I was like in like fall of 2022, for example. So if I just want to like be nostalgic, I go back and I like listen to this playlist and it immediately brings me back. Or if you want to be reminded of a certain place or want to like put yourself in a mood, like, you just have to listen to that playlist, put on that lotion that you always put on, wear that outfit, wear those colors that you would always wear to that place. Or if you always listen to this certain music when you're happy and you want to, make yourself happy, you just listen to this playlist. You know what I mean? So create like a whole vibe around a time, place, or mood. So my conundrum with basing my vibe around the seasons is that I will be moving to Arizona next fall, and Arizona does not really have seasons. It's a desert. So if anyone has any suggestions for what else I could base my vibe around, because I do like making it time specific, like I said, so I can like time travel in a way. So I'm not sure if I should make it based off of like the month or the semester or what. Maybe I can still like change it every season, but the vibes will just be different. Like my fall vibe will not be very autumnal, it'll be something more deserty. I don't know, I'll have to think about that because I've just always done it based on the seasons, and now I don't know what I'm gonna do when I'm in Arizona and have like no seasons around me. Try to work with what you have as much as possible. Like, I don't really think it's necessary to go and like throw out your wardrobe and buy a whole new one every time you want to change your vibe. I think that's pretty ridiculous. I would say like, for me, I have a pretty like eclectic collection of clothes, and so it's easy for me to make a bunch of different vibes out of what I have because I have a few like novelty pieces, but most of what I have is kind of like versatile and are kind of just basics, and then I just kind of add accessories or add like a statement piece on top of it to make it match my vibe. Also, if you're having a hard time thinking of a specific object or concept to inspire you, you can always just list a bunch of things that you like, and even if you don't think they go together, you can combine them in a way that's unique to you. Or if you kind of see like a through line through a few of the things you listed but not all of them, you can create 2 separate vibes, like I said, and make one for when you're sad and one for when you're happy, or one for the summer, one for the fall, or one for when you're at home, one for when you're out driving, something like that. So honestly, like sometimes I make lists of things that I just like or I'm interested in, and other people don't see a through line in them, but I somehow feel like they all relate together. So if you can't find one specific thing, you can just find like a collection of things and like put them all together. Okay, so at this point in the video, I kind of just want to take the time to like info dump about what my current vibe is. As you can probably tell from my latest video before this one, I'm pretty inspired by like the female horror protagonist style, or whatever, you know, I associate with that. So like I took my style inspiration, like my color palette, my silhouette, and like, you know, just outfit inspiration from that realm. In terms of the music on my playlist, I tried to pick things that are both a little creepy or a little dark, but with an element of like whimsy or cuteness. Just, you know, that's just the theme, like cute, whimsical, girly, also mixed with like something creepy and dark. For the scent, I am actually kind of going for like lighter scents. Usually when it comes to winter and fall, I do spicy or gourmand, but right now I'm kind of into lighter floral scents just because I feel like it has that like girliness to it. So like honestly for this winter I was trying to combine like girly and creepy, so like the creepiness of like the dead trees of winter and how dark it gets, mixed with like the girliness of like lace and like cute skirts and like little animals. So I made two kind of like shuffle screensavers up, or like, you know, like shuffle collages, and I made the first one earlier in the winter and the second one I made more recently, but I both feel like they have like a kind of, I don't know how to say this without like being cringe. I don't want people to think I'm cringe, but I am though, so, you know, just think I'm cringe, it's fine. But like kind of like a dark princess, or like something about like a cute person in a creepy situation, because that is the essence of like the female horror protagonist. I always love the look of like the creepy trees outside when it's winter and it's just all dead, because I feel like it makes everything like look haunted. I've already spoken in another video about how I don't think fall is creepy. I think winter is much creepier than fall, even though Halloween is in fall, because everything's dead in the winter. So that's like my explanation of my current winter vibe. So yeah, I hope this video has been helpful for anyone wanting to change their style or curate a new vibe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!